everyone for coming to our podcast today. Today we're going to be talking about the very iconic talk show host, Oprah Winfrey. Many of you may know her from Reach Under Your Chairs and You'll Find Keys to a New Car. But how many of us know her from her leadership? Oprah actually founded a production company known as Harpo Production, that's her name backwards, where she leads around 200 employees. So today we're going to talk about her exemplary leadership skills and how she inspires millions via her talk show. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves before we start. I'm Molly Lowe, your host and expert on all things Oprah. I'll let the panel go ahead and introduce themselves now as well.
Hi, I'm Abigail, and I'm excited to tell you guys about our exemplary leader, Oprah.
I'm Ella.
I'm Ian. I can't wait to talk about Oprah. I'm so excited.
My name's Aaron, and I'll tell you guys how Oprah enables others to act.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. Excited to be here.
All right, awesome. Thanks, you guys. Just to jump right in, my first question for y'all, can someone explain how Oprah models the way for me and how she sets examples for others to follow?
Yes, Molly, I can totally tell you how Oprah models the way and sets the example. So Oprah is known for sharing about her personal growth and self-improvement and how she wants to inspire others to kind of embark on their own path of self-improvement. She believes in bettering yourselves and bettering your communities because it just makes everybody feel good. And there's actually a little quote that Kouzes and Posner said, and it's no one will believe you're serious until they see you doing what you're asking of others. And the fact that she does constantly share about her personal growth on her show and with the guests that she hosts, people are able to see how she just basically tells people to help people go on their own journey and just become better selves. And going along with that, she's also known for her authenticity and vulnerability, and her willingness to be vulnerable, can set an example for others and embrace their vulnerabilities. People watch you, how you act and stuff, and when they see how you act, then they can tell that you're kind of serious about it, and then they tend to believe you more as a leader. She also has talked about how she's a lifelong learner. She likes to promote the importance of knowledge and encourages her audience to embrace learning, and by sharing her curiosity for knowledge, she regularly interviews experts, thought leaders, and authors on her show just to explore a wide variety of topics. And so there's another fun kind of quote that I had found, and it's successful leaders practice what they teach and are mindful of their actions. And this is in an article by Lopez, and she talks about how she knows she has the power to influence others, and that she knows that she has to use that power responsibly, because with great power comes great responsibility, and that it should be used to create a positive change, and that by doing that, she just sets the examples for others in a position of power to follow along in her footsteps and to just create positive change. And something else Oprah had said in an interview is that the big secret in life is that there is no big secret. Whatever your goal, you can get there if you're willing to work. And she talks about her success serves as an example to inspire young entrepreneurs, and that with hard work and perseverance, others can pursue their dreams as well. And this is just a little bit about how she sets the examples for others to follow.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know Oprah started out, from pretty tough place and really grew her way up. And I feel that really helps her model the way for others too. So I like that last quote from her. That was cool. Can you talk a little bit how she clarifies values?
I could definitely talk about how she clarifies her values. So as we had said before, how she likes to talk about her personal growth and stuff, she also engages in personal reflection and self-awareness to help identify and clarify her core values to align with her leadership styles. She wants to make sure that her actions line up with her values, and that what she's doing it helps align her values and everything that she does. And that she also openly communicates her values by like articulating them to provide a foundation for others to understand her perspective and then like connect with her message. Because in order to like, you know, like connect with the message, you want to understand like where people are coming from. And then actually another quote from like Cousins and Posner, by like sharing and explaining their values, people were better prepared to understand the reasoning behind people's like actions and decisions. And I thought that really fit with her. She also like consistently takes actions that just align with her beliefs and promote her messages. You know, it's like, do what you say you will do and just follow through with it. And that her values are also supported with her like philanthropic endeavors and stuff that she does with Harpo and on her TV shows and other just endeavors and things that she does to create a positive change in society. And that just through her authenticity, she can share about the real person and not just the celebrity, so people can see it's like, yes, there is a real person behind like this huge like celebrity and figure, and she just wants to use it to create an environment that allows others to feel empowered to embrace their own values. And yeah,
Thank you.
Nice.
Can someone tell me a little bit about how Oprah inspires a shared vision and how she does this for her team, but also not only her team, her audience as well?
I can do that. Oprah is a visionary, and this isn't the only characteristic that sets her apart and helps her inspire such a large following and a dynamic team. In an interview with Stanford Business with students at the Graduate School of Business, she explained that she uses her platform to speak to the world and to make an impact. And she uses her show and other projects to tell a message, and her team and audience are inspired by her desire to connect with others and through this transform society in some way. Michelle Obama wrote an article illustrating her influence, saying that Oprah establishes norms that embrace vulnerability, critical thinking, introspection, and by doing this, she's able to bridge the gap between herself and others and connect with them and find a way to relate to them. This helps people see aspects of themselves in Oprah also, which she had said in the same Stanford interview. And she, like Abigail said, is authentically herself, and she binds her followers together in a collective identity.
Yeah. Can you talk about how she enlists others as well?
Absolutely. Oprah enlists others through her emotional competencies and her compassionate disposition with others and her curiosity. So these characteristics influence others to embrace self-growth, to see the best in themselves and others, and to think critically about the environment that we live in. These messages animate her vision by communicating high ambitions for a better future as well. And all of her projects have a cause that makes others want to commit, because she envisions opportunities that help others rather than just help herself. People connect to her purpose because she demonstrates her personal connection to it, and on her show she spoke with others in interviews that went beyond Q&As. Her interviews demonstrate a friendship or some sort of meaningful connection to her followers. And when communicating with her team and audience, she's enthusiastic, and her followers are inspired by her openness to express her gratitude and passion for others too. In the same Stanford interview I mentioned before, Oprah gave students advice on how to find their own purpose, and she told them, align your personality with your purpose and no one can touch you.
Yeah, I really like that. Align your personality with your purpose.
Yeah.
Like, that's super
That
important.
values everyone's unique qualities. And
Yeah, not everyone should have or even go for the same purpose. So I think that's awesome. Can someone tell me a little bit how Oprah managed to challenge the process via taking risks and searching for opportunities?
Oh boy, could I?
Oh yeah, tell me.
So as
Okay.
for searching for opportunities, there's a quote from Greta Hendricks Johnson, who wrote an article about Oprah's career in general, where it says, in a significant career move, Oprah moved to Chicago in January of 1984 and took a position as a host of AM Chicago. Competing against top-ranked talk shows of the time, Winfrey proved that she was able to attract a broad audience. Later, that same show was called The Oprah Winfrey Show. This quote, in my mind, shows that she was able to take this opportunity very early in her career, and there was an audience that she believed she could captivate and be able to penetrate that market, and it really worked for her. Before she decided to move to Chicago, she became the host of a local television show called WTVF, where she became the youngest and first African-American female anchor. 2 years later, WTVF offered her a position to co-host their morning talk show, People Are Talking. Not only does Oprah Winfrey search for opportunities for herself, but she also provides them for others. In 1987, Oprah established the Oprah Winfrey Foundation, which aims to inspire, empower, and educate women and children around the world. Her foundation is quoted as saying, "Oprah said that education is critical to leveling economic playing fields and opening opportunities for everyone. The foundation prioritizes making equal education accessible and giving leaders a chance to lift themselves and others." While Oprah Winfrey Foundation might focus on education and inspiration, these are both forms of opportunity in my mind. And throughout Oprah's career, she's been able to seize opportunities and get most of them to work for her. Her ability to do this is exemplary as a leader. One of her on top of her personal ability to do this, I'm sorry, I lost my mind. That's enough for opportunity. It's very obvious that a lot of opportunities arise for her, and she doesn't squander them. She's able to just take that in and make it work for her and others. As for risks, similar to the first example, where she became the host of AM Chicago. In the mid-'80s, she decided to take a big financial risk with signing a deal with that. She put her own money and career on the line doing that, which I personally couldn't do. That sounds too scary. But she was like, I'm going to make this work no matter what. And she knew the risk going in. It could just make or break her. If it failed, she'd have no money. If she was a bad host, she wouldn't have a career. In 2018, Oprah is quoted as saying, "Do the things that you cannot do, fail at it, try again, do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire." This is a really inspirational quote in my mind, in that she understands the impact of failure. You can have in your life, if you're not good at something, the only way to get better is to try again. If you fail, just don't give up.
It's inspiring.
It is.
Yeah, and I know when you're talking about opportunities, it made me think about all the opportunities she offered to some actually really famous talk show hosts now. So Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, all three of them have talked about how Oprah found opportunities for them to come on her show, and she actually really helped them kind of make it big as well. So not only is she good at doing that for herself, but like you mentioned, giving it to others too. So that's really cool. Can somebody tell me what Oprah does that enables others to act?
I can do that, but before I get into my portion of the podcast, I want to go over the citations so I don't forget. The first citation I'm using is a 37-page book called Oprah Leading with the Heart by Nancy Cohen, and the second one I'm using is a very long book called The Leadership Challenge by Kuznis and Posner. And so Oprah enables others to act through two different ways. The first one is fostering collaboration. The second one is going to be strengthening others. And Oprah fosters collaboration first by creating a climate of trust among her team. And she does this by being extremely willing to delegate. And so she purposely puts people on her team who are better than what she is. Better at her at certain things, and she also uses those people to increase her own skill set, to sharpen her own knife. And she also is really big about autonomy as well. And her thing about giving her team autonomy has extended throughout her entire company at Harpo. And the Harpo company leadership style is described as autonomy in action. And the increased autonomy employees receive at Harpo is another level of trust being shown by leadership to employees. Now, according to Kuznis and Posner, this is important because in order to build a climate of trust, the leaders have to go first. And you have to demonstrate your trust in others before you can ask your employees to trust you. So I thought that was a really powerful way. Another way Oprah fosters collaboration is just ensuring compatibility among the team. So she's not just throwing a bunch of talented people onto one team. She's making sure that the talent can work together in ways. Now, as far as Oprah goes about strengthening others, one thing that I thought was really cool was she tries to strengthen both her audience and the employees that work for her. And she strengthens her audience by genuinely showing concern for her audience, which is why Oprah kind of went from a show that entertained people to a show that does entertain but also helps you in your everyday life. And that shift built an emotional connection that really helped her show grow in a lot of ways and also helped her audience. And the way Oprah strengthens her employees is basically by pushing them really hard. And she does this in a productive manner, though. So, for example, the attrition rate at Harpo is in between 10 to 15%, and it's higher than the national average. But the challenging nature of work develops employee confidence, according to Kuznets and Posner. This is because when employees are faced with work that stresses their skills but doesn't make them feel overly stressed, it strengthens their capacity and resolve of the entire organization. Oprah also has very high standards for her employees. In the book by Nancy Cohen, she's quoted as saying, "I have great stamina and I run other people into the ground." However, if you meet her standards, Oprah is deeply appreciative. There's a couple of quotes about how deep of appreciation she has for her team. And Oprah's deep appreciation for her employees whenever they fulfill the customer's standard also helps strengthen her employees because it builds their self-confidence and it enhances their belief that they can forge into uncharted territories and face adversity. So yeah, that's how Oprah enables others to act.
Yeah, I also like that she's really honest and says like, hey, I'm going to work you really hard and I'm going to give you challenges because not everyone wants that in a leader. So I feel like it's better for a leader to just be honest about that because, I mean, some people, really want that and they'd love that opportunity. But you don't want to go into it not knowing that about her. So.
Yeah, that expectation of you as a worker. Yep.
So something I think a lot of us know Oprah for, and that we've already really gone over today, is Oprah is really great at encouraging the heart. Can someone tell me about how she actually does this?
Yeah, I'm more than happy to do this. So with Oprah, like just right off the bat, from what we're learning all together just sitting here today, is we're recognizing the positive impact she's had on people globally. Winning the heart of millions of people didn't just happen overnight. This is built over a decade of hard work of overcoming real challenges throughout her life. In her early years, Oprah experienced childhood abuse, a loss of a child, racial and sex-based discrimination in the entertainment industry. But Oprah Winfrey held a deep belief in herself that she was meant for something greater than just her traumas to define her. So this is a really important piece I think I want to highlight because she was able to pursue and accomplish a lot of big goals that she had, and she consistently stayed on track. And so before meeting today, I tuned into Oprah's podcast, Super Soul, which is really good. Highly recommend it. And I heard the term trauma growth. And I never heard this term before. So listen to this. Trauma affects everyone differently. There are people who are going to experience trauma and they're not going to bounce back. That is sometimes the hard reality of this life that we live in. Some will live their lives and it could potentially decline and eventually fall victim of becoming lost in their life purpose. For Oprah, though, and from what I've observed and from what we've been talking about today, is that she's actually an example of post-traumatic growth. So this is where someone experiences a traumatic incident and they struggle to bounce back, but then they find the light at the end of the tunnel by building a new sense of self-resilience. So Oprah is a really fantastic example of this. And so to answer your question, Molly, like Oprah enables the heart of others because they appreciate her authenticity and her resilience throughout all the traumas that she's experienced. She has persevered.
Yeah.
So listeners can feel they can relate to Oprah, and Oprah takes a great importance to the workers and to those who are audience members watching her show. And so one of the things in our chapter books is think of creative ways to personalize thank yous. And so I know that from the Post Staff magazine, they had talked about how Oprah showed her appreciation towards her coworkers through personal letters.
Oh, that's nice.
So you have that. Then also employee cash bonuses, for instance. For the Oprah's magazine's 10th anniversary, everyone, no matter how long they worked at the company, received $10,000 check. How many companies do that?
Not enough.
Yeah. And then another thing that she's doing is also making sure she's donating money towards these charities that the people she works with, where are their passions, where do they lie? And if they're sharing charities that they're really, in tune with, then she is happy to be donated into them, investigate, and also bring them up on the Oprah Winfrey show as well, and the OWN network that she owns. So those are just some of the ways that she enables the heart. I mean, her resilience is really proven to be a beautiful thing, and we don't always get that.
Yeah.
With people in our lives where we've seen such a dark part of someone's past and how they've grown to be an amazing leader. So within her leadership, I think she is just fabulous, and she's a role model for all of us.
Thank you, Kaylee. It's very inspiring. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for coming here today and engaging us with your expert knowledge. What can we learn from our conversation today? We learned that Oprah is a showcase for the 5 exemplary leadership practices throughout the work she's done in her production company as well as in her talk show. She strives to push her employees by offering high rewards and great opportunities for development. Oprah is also a model for viewers around the world who look to her for advice, clarity, as she is highly dedicated to her core values of, as she defines them, self-improvement, positivity, and charity. Leaders who wish to be exemplary in their own leadership practice can really learn from Oprah's dedication to her passion, employees, and really most importantly, her core values and life purpose. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.